Ready? All right, here we go. Hey, Elliot, scoot up a little bit. Lily, scoot up a little bit. Tanaya, I want you right here, sister. Peyton, scoot up just a smidge, bud. All right. And then when these guys leave, you guys can scoot up even a little bit more. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. We got a lot to do today. We are talking about, we're reviewing our sounds from yesterday. We're going to do some pocket, our folder chaining. We're going to do some partner reading today, so lots and lots of things today. We're going to start with sounds. Here we go. Eyes up here. Let me see those pupils. Tanaya. Here we go. Let me see it. Good job. Just a breath. Does it tickle? Keep those teeth together. Peyton's already got his hand under his chin. He is ready for the next part. That vowel smile. Here we go. I, drop it. Drop it. Drop it. All the way down. Ah. Back up to I. Show me your motions. Ready? I, and ah. All right, keep going. Just a pop. Just another pop. Breath. Ooh, I'm checking for your tongue, Iker. Ooh, behind your teeth. Ooh, bless you. Ooh. All right, time for some blending. I am going to give you the sounds. I want you to blend together. Here we go. Ip. Imp. Now you have to look at my mouth. Look at me, because some of these are going to have 4 sounds. Some of them are a blend, like we're putting 2 consonants together, and we're going to say it a little bit faster, so you need to pay attention. Look. Amp. Lamp. Nice. Lump. Lump. Slump. That had 5 sounds. Do you know what slump is? Watch me. Slump is like, maybe you might slump over. Everybody slump down, like just, if you're in your chair, you might slump down in your chair. Kind of make, like being kind of lazy. Do you think it's a noun or a verb? Verb. Why? Because we can do it. Here we go. Now the next 5 are going to be names of boys. You ready? I don't have pictures, but just some names of boys. Listen. Stan. Is. Scott. Brad.
That's my dad.
I know. That's why you had a big smile. Oh, I think someone in this room is going to like this one. Listen. Ant.
Grant.
Like Mr. Grant. Look at that, Mr. Grant. It wasn't even, it's in the book here. All right. So yesterday we started kind of a pretty tricky little skill learning about the letter S. And yesterday we talked about the letter S at the end of the word. And sometimes when we see the letter S at the end of the word, sometimes it makes this sound, S, and sometimes it makes this sound, Z. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So the S sometimes is at the beginning of the word. Hey, Miss Katie's boys and girls, you may go with Miss Katie. Thank you. So everybody kind of scoot up. Rowan, scoot up. Elliot, scoot up. There you go. Let's move up. So we mostly put the letter S at the end of the word to make a word. Brooke, scoot up 1 square, buddy. To make a word, are you ready for this big word that I'm going to teach you today? Look up here. Plural. Repeat. Plural. Have you ever heard that word, plural? Have you heard it before, Rowan? Plural. What does the word plural mean?
It means there's more than one.
Give me 5. Did you hear what he said? Plural means more than one. So I have a brand new poster to show you here. And the title of the poster says plural noun. A plural noun means it's more than one person or one place or one animal or one thing or one idea. This is a marker. Would you agree with that? Just a marker, one marker. Now I am holding markers. I would put an S at the end of the word marker to make it mean more than one. I have one card. Would you agree that this is a card? Yes. But if I have more cards, I would need to put the letter S after the word card to make it plural. So today we're going to talk more about adding that S, but here's the tricky part. When we put an S at the end, you need to figure out if you're going to say the S sound at the end or the Z sound at the end. So I'm going to write the word hat. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. I was supposed to write that. All right, think, read. Hat. That word says hat, Peyton, and that means, how many hats is that?
One.
That is one hat. But if I put an S at the end, it makes it plural and it makes it hats, right? Now, I'm going to put another word up on the board. This time I'm not going to read. Think. Like kids' hats like we read yesterday. Look at this word here. Think. Read. Kid. Now that is one kid. I want one kid to stand up. Elliot, one kid. There you go. That is one kid. Right there, just one, right? Count it. One. That is this. If I put an S at the end, that changes the word kid to
Kids.
kids. And look at all of you kids that stood up. All right, have a seat. Now, this is the tricky part. Are you ready? This is like some really big thinking stuff. When you see an S at the end of a word, does it mean that it always says the sound like we've learned?
No.
Sometimes that S will say S, or sometimes the S will say Z. Well, I have a way to help you figure that out. Do you want to know my trick? Here is my trick to know if we're going to say the sound at the end or the Z. Here it is. All right, let's start with the sound. If the last letter before the S is an unvoiced sound, you put an S at the end. Let me say that again. Let me erase these S's at the end, and we'll see if this works. This is the word hat. Look at the letter at the end. Is that voiced or unvoiced?
Unvoiced.
That means if it is unvoiced at the end, when I put a S at the end there, it makes the S sound. That's the tricky part, okay? So, having said that, look at this card to help you remember. If the letter at the end is voiced, then it makes the Z sound. So, look at kid. Look at that last sound. Is it voiced or unvoiced? D, 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 d. It's voiced, which means when I put a S at the end, we're going to use the Z sound at the end. It's a little tricky, isn't it? So let's look. Hats.
Hat.
Repeat. Hats. Kids. Kids. Can you hear the difference between the S and the Z? Can you hear that difference? All right, let's do a sort. Can you erase that for me, sister? All right, let's do a sort. I have some words in my lap here, and I'm going to put these up here too. Let's put this one here. So remember, if it is unvoiced, we're going to say the sound, and if it's voiced, we'll make the Z sound. That might help. All right, so I have two little pictures. The first one is cats. Repeat. Cats. What sound do you hear at the end of cats? Can you hear that? And this is a picture of dogs. Repeat. Dogs. What sound do you hear at the end? Z. All right.
My mom wants a dog.
I know, aren't they sweet? Now, I have some words, and I'm going to be adding an S to the end, and we're going to decide if the word is like in cats. I'll go ahead and write the s, or z like in dogs. Are you ready? Here we go. Look, think, read. Leg. Look at, now, can you see that little arrow I put here? I put that little arrow to look at that last sound. G, g. Is it unvoiced or voiced? It's voiced. So what is that S sound going to say? Z. Now write it with the Z. Ready? Legs. So is legs like in cats or Z like in dogs? There you go, Rowan. Put it up. All right, let's go to the next one.
I have a cat like that.
Eyes up here. Rowan's going to put it up. All right, next one is this. Think. Read. Pot. Now look at my little arrow. We're looking at that last sound. Is that sound voiced or unvoiced?
Unvoiced.
It is unvoiced. So what sound are we going to say at the end? Okay, sit down. I'm going to get somebody else to do it. Okay, read it again. Pots. So is that like in cats or z like in dogs? All right. Cats, pots. Just grab one of those circle ones. All right, here's the next one. Think. Elliot's thinking. Are you thinking? Are you thinking? Okay. Read. Jet. Now, here's the arrow looking at that final sound. Is it unvoiced or voiced?
Unvoiced.
So, when we pronounce the S at the end, what do we say? Jets. So, is that S as in cats or Z as in dogs? Cats. Brooks? Oh, no, Brooks, I'm just thinking about your name. Do you think we should add Brooks's name?
Yes.
So Brooks's name has an S at the end. Is the end of Brooks's name like in cats or Z like in dogs?
Cat.
It's a Brooks. I'm just going to write your name right here. Look at that. Brooks. Now, let's just make sure. Let's look at this last sound. Let's see if it follows my rule. Is k voiced or unvoiced? Unvoiced, which means, ooh, the rule worked with Brooks's name too. Okay, we're going to do two more. Let's do, think. Read.
Bed.
Bed. Okay, what are we looking at to decide what sound that S makes? The D, D. Okay, is it voiced or unvoiced? It's what? It's voiced, which means, what's the sound going to be at the end? Is it going to be beds or beds? Beds, like in dogs. All right, we have two more magnets. We'll do two more. Okay, think. Read. Okay, looking at the last sound. Is it voiced or unvoiced? G, 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 g. Voiced, which means, what's that S sound going to be at the end? Bags. Is that like in cats or Z like in dogs? Dogs. Are you getting the hang of that? You guys think you got the hang of it? Because you're going to be writing some words in just a minute. All right, we'll do one more. Let's do this one. Last one. Think. Read. Rat. Why are you saying yay for rat? Ooh, I don't know. That doesn't make me very happy. All right. What sound are we looking at? Okay, let's look at our rule here. Is it unvoiced or voiced? It's unvoiced. So when I add a S at the end, how do we say this word? Rats. Elliot. All right. Now, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to look at the board because we're going to do quick read in just a minute. So I want everybody to look, study. thumb up on your knee if you're ready to go. All right, so let's read these words, and then we're going to do some writing. Now, here's a trick question. Not really trick, you should know it. When we read these words, are we blending or segmenting? When we read, we are blending the sounds. Here we go, Peyton. You did, I know. Here we go. Ready? Read. Pots, jets, brooks, rats, legs, beds, and bags. All right, eyes up here. I want you to go get your boogie board, marker, eraser, and we're going to come back to the rug and write some words. Today, you have been reading words that end with S, plural nouns. Someone tell me really quick what a noun is before I move on. Cash, what is a noun? You can't do it. That's right. Brooks, what is a noun? It is a person, place, or a thing. So when I read these, give me a thumb up if it is a noun. Pots.
Noun.
Are those things? Jets.
Noun.
Brooks.
Noun.
He's a person. Rats.
Noun.
Yes, I know. Brooks is really excited about that. Legs.
Noun.
Beds.
Noun.
And bags.
Noun.
All right, so all of the words,
They're the same because they're all nouns.
they're all nouns. Well, now we're going to switch over to verbs. Somebody tell me, Peyton, what is a verb?
Flying.
What?
Flying.
Flying. But tell me what, if somebody said, what in the world is a verb, how would you describe a verb? Anastasia.
A verb is something you can do.
A verb is something that we can do. Yes.
Action word.
It is an action word. So now we're going to do some sorting of words, but we're going to add an S to a verb. On these pictures, we added an S to nouns. Now we're going to put an S on the back of a verb. Now, when we put an S on the back at the end of a noun, it makes it what? What was that word? Can anybody remember? Plural. When we put an S at the end of a verb, it means something that you're doing now. It just makes things in the present, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So this little guy is doing what?
Sleeping.
He's sleeping, and we're going to say that but listen to sleeping. We're looking for that S at the end. Sleeping.
It's at the beginning.
It's at the beginning, so we want to add it to the end. So it's not going to be sleeping. What else does that look like that would end in
Sleeping. Resting.
resting? Well, there's S in the middle. Let me go ahead and tell you. It's kind of hard. This is He naps. The kid naps in the middle of the day. Look, he's got his clothes on. He looks like he's on the couch, so he naps.
That's what I did.
All right, so I'm going to write the word nap, and this guy runs. So I'm going to write the word runs here. Now, did I write naps, or did I just write nap? I wrote nap, but we have to figure out what sound we're going to use. So when I add an S to naps, let's look at the last letter is P, unvoiced or voiced, is unvoiced. So when we say naps, what sound does this S get? Ready? Say it. Naps. Okay, let's go to runs. I'm going to look at that. I see you already checking. It's voiced, which means when we say it, what sound will we say? Z. We will say Z. So I'm going to put a Z here and a S here, because now you're going to be sorting words on your board, words that end like S in naps, or words that end like Z in runs. So put your board in a horizontal axis, make it horizontal, and put a line right through the middle, just like that, right through the middle. Cut it in half. All right, on the left side of your board, make sure it's the left. Let's go ahead and put our Z sound. And don't forget to make those little diagonal lines, because that makes it a sound. When you see these little lines, it means it's a sound or a phoneme. If there's something in between those lines, that is a sound. On the, oh, did I do that right? I put a Z for naps. Oh, I did not. Glad I caught that. Now put the Z on the other side. The Z on the other side. All right, so we're going to sort a couple words. Now, we'll say the words, and then we'll decide if it ends with a S like in naps or a Z like in runs. Ready? Here we go. First word is, get your segmenter up, by the way. Let's get the segmenter up. Here we go. The word is taps. Here we go. Segment it. Let me do that again because you know what I just did? I went ps. Is ps one sound or two sounds? I caught myself. Here we go. Let's do that one more time. You're smart. Help me out. Taps. Now, does taps end with a S like naps or a Z like runs? So you are going to write taps on the S side. What's our first sound? Vowel sound. Ah. Third sound. And this, because it's plural. Taps. What does that mean, taps? Taps. Show me taps. Show me taps right now. You know how you do that on your boogie board?
Like taps on the sink.
Like a okay, so that would be a water tap, right? Like here's your sink, here's your water tap. Here's the tap that the water comes out of. So would that be a verb or a noun? This tap. That would be our noun. So remember, we're doing verbs. Show me tap. You know how you tap on your boogie board and it makes my nerves go like this? Yeah, that's taps. All right, next word is, look at me, repeat, rubs. Okay, ooh, I already see you. Hand up, segment it. Ready? Did you get 4 fingers up? Let me see it again. Let me see. I want to see all your 4 fingers. Ready? Rubs. So is that rubs like naps or z like runs? Okay. What was my word again? Rubs. Here we go. First sound. Vowel sound. B. Which way does B go, by the way? Make sure it's to the right. If you put it to the left, guess what you have? Ruds. Okay. Now here is where I'm looking at boards right now, and here's what I notice. I noticed that some people actually wrote the letter Z. Here's what you have to remember. It makes the sounds Z, but is it the letter Z or the letter S that goes at the end? It is the letter S, so be careful.
But you can write a Z under.
Well, we write a Z under it on our tricky words to help us remember, but when we write it on our boards, we're just going to try to remember today, Lily. But yes, you're right. That's a great tool. Hey, you wrote ruds. Rud instead of rub. Peyton, what do you got to do to that? D. Listen, guys, it's all about right and left. You know the importance. This is why. All right, next word is repeat. Hits. No, look at me. I didn't say p. I said hits. Repeat. Okay, hands up. Tap or segmenter up. Ready? Hits. It. Did you get 4? It. You got to make those last 2 pretty quick. Try it one more time. Ready? It. Okay. Hits. So is that a word that has the like naps or the z like runs. Naps. What was my word again? Hits. Thank you. It. By the way, I'm looking at some s at the end. Make sure your s goes to the left. Rowan, check those. All yours are going to the right. Yeah, make sure you look. S, when we write the letter S, we're to the left.
That's why we need to know left and right.
That's exactly why we know. That's why we spend so much time on left and right, to know which way. All right.
That will be a 2.
Ready? Let's do another one. Let's do begs. Repeat. Begs. Segment her up. Brooks is already ready. Now look at this, guys. You got this ring finger and this pinky. You're going to have to go pretty quick, and you'll have to be together. Ready? Begs. Let's go. B-e-g-s. Begs. First sound? Well, let's decide where it goes first. Is it s like in naps or z like in runs? Begs. Runs. Okay, so here we go. B. Eh. I'm checking for the correct vowel, by the way. Beg. B-egg. Z. Now it says z, so I must put a z there. I tried to trick you. I knew it.
The letter. I messed up.
I knew I couldn't trick you. Begs.
I put a light right
Begs.
here. I put a light right here.
Okay, but so I'm looking at your board. Your board says rub and beg. Remember, we're adding, what are we adding to the end to make it rubs and begs? All right, you guys ready for 2 more? Okay, here we go. The next one is, repeat, sits. Sits. Segmenter up. Annalie is ready. Here we go. Segmenter. Remember, you're going to have to go quick. Go. It sits. So is that a s like in naps or runs? Naps. Okay, here we go.
But it has 2.
Yeah. Sits is kind of cool because it has a s at the beginning and the end. It. Last sound. I just noticed something about a couple words on the like in naps side. Well, we're not writing a sentence, so we don't want a period, but look at the 3 words that we have over on this side. I just noticed something about 2 of them.
They rhyme.
Which word rhymes? Hits and? Go ahead and circle those, guys. Look at that. They rhyme. What makes them rhyme?
They both have the it.
They both have the its. And I just noticed something else about the word taps. And I noticed something about taps in our picture here. Naps. They both rhyme too. Okay, we got one more. You ready? This is it. The next one is repeat, tugs. Tugs. Segment her up. Here we go. Tugs. Tugs. Okay, is it a s as in naps or a z as in runs? Tugs. Runs. Tugs.
They run. Run tugs.
Okay. Run. Tug. Does it rhyme?
No.
No. Okay, here we go. Tugs. T. Vowel sound. Final sound. G. Does your g hook to the left, by the way? Peyton, check it. G.
Don't
G.
put a Z at the end.
Oh, but I am going to put a z. Wait a minute. You just said don't put a z at the end.
Not
But
the sound of letter.
don't put the letter z at the end, right? Even though we hear the z, you are so smart. I'm going to put that s there because sometimes the s at the end of this word says s. But sometimes it also says what sound, guys? It says the Z sound. All right, so listen carefully. Are you ready? Let's take a look at our rule here. This is the rule for this, like in naps. If the last letter is unvoiced, it always has these, ready? Taps. What is that? P? Unvoiced, it gets an S. Hits. What is the T? It gets an S. What is, here, sits, what is the T? It gets an S. Now let's go to the Z rule. Here we go. If it is voiced, it gets still gets an S, but it makes what sound? Z. Here we go. Okay, rubs. B. B. Voiced. Begs. G. G. Tugs. G. G. Voiced. All right.
I just noticed something.
What?
Jenny.
What did you notice?
There's two S's at the end. There's three S's at the end, and there's two G at the in like the third letter.
Yeah. So there's two words that end with the G. All of them end with this. Actually, the Z on this side. So, you know, Cash, it would have been easy to look at this. So if you know that G is going to say Z, then when you write another G, are you going to know that that's going to say Z too? Good job seeing those patterns. All right, erase. You have until the letter Z for free time. I want you to, when you're finished, go get Kit. Bring her back to the rug.
Kit's book.
Get Kit and your boogie board back to the rug. Ready, Freddies? Okay, here we go. So scoot up just a smidge. Over a little bit. Over that way. Tanaya, scoot up here, hon. Up, up, up. There she is. All right, so we have been reading our new story about who?
Kit.
About Kit. And Kit is the
Main
character in this story. Everyone, hold your book. Do we have Lily's stuff? Oh, there's Lily's. Here, make room for Lily. And will you grab, Knox, will you grab me maybe Antonella's book over there in your book box, please? All right, so Kit is the main character of our story, and we've been really working on learning about the parts of a book. So everybody put your book in front of you, and I want you to point to the front cover. Where's the front cover of our story? Right here. Point to the title of our story. What is the title of this whole book?
Kit.
It is Kit. Can you point to the word that says Kit? And Kit has been the main character in all of the stories, hasn't she? Yeah. So we've read a lot about Kit.
Here.
There she. Okay, yeah, point to Kit in the
Front cover.
on the front cover. Thank you. Now we've also met another one of her friends. Can anybody remember? Stan. Which one is Stan?
The one with the green shirt.
Okay, he's the one with the green shirt. And Kit, when we first met her, she likes to do a lot of things. Would you say she's active?
He's helping.
Active means she's like busy and she likes to do things. Would you agree? What are some of the things in the first story that Kit did that you can remember?
She swam.
She swam.
She skipped.
Flipped and flopped.
Ran.
She ran. She skipped.
She ran.
Yeah, she did all those things. But that's a lot, right? Oh, are all those verbs?
Yes.
Run,
Swim.
swim, flip and flop, run, skip. Are all those words things that she can do? Yes. All right, so then we met Stan, and we read the story Kit and Stan, and what did they like to do together?
They like to play with each other.
They liked to play with each other, but they played a specific game. What was the game?
Hide and seek.
They played hide and seek. Now, let me go back to Kit. We talked about the setting of the story Kit, and I'll take a hand because you guys are getting excited, and there's lots of, where was the setting in the first story of Kit? Outside. Where was the setting of Kit and Stan?
Inside.
It was inside and
Outside.
it was inside and outside. Then we came to Kit's hats. Remember Kit's hats? That's what we read yesterday. What was on the shelf?
The hat.
The hats. So where was the setting of Kit's hats?
On the shelf.
Okay, where was the setting of Kit's hats? The hats were on the shelf, but where did this story take place? It didn't.
A small.
Inside. So did it tell? Maybe her bedroom.
Maybe a store.
Maybe a store. Did it really tell us where? No, it just said all about her hats.
It looks like.
I guess, what did you say, Lily?
I guess we can pick.
Lily, that's the great thing. Look, it didn't tell us she was at home. We can pick it. So we can decide, was she maybe at a store? Or maybe was she at home? I don't know. Well, let's find out. Let's look more at those pictures today. So everybody turn. When we open a book, which way do we always turn? To the left. Let me see that title page. Here we go. Title page. Title page. Says the book. Always says the title. And it also will usually say the author. But this author doesn't say it here. It just says CKLA. All right, let's go through the next page. What page is that?
The table of contents.
And that's always my favorite page because that gives us all the great stories that we're going to read. So if
It goes to 85.
everybody put your tracker on the story Kit. What page does Kit start on?
1.
Okay. Put your tracker on the story Kit and Stan.
Goes 12.
What page did that start on?
11.
Put your tracker on the story Kit's Hats. What page does that start on?
23.
23. So let's go ahead and start with Kit. Actually, we're going to, no. Let's go back to the table of contents. We're going to go ahead and go to Kit's Hats. So taking a look at your table of contents, what page are we going to start on?
23.
On 23. So everybody go. If your neighbor's having a little bit of a hard time finding 23, you might want to help.
Help him.
Yeah.
I got to 23.
Kids' hats.
Kids' hats. I know what her name is. 9, 10.
Very gently. Yeah,
12.
help her out, Roland.
13. Oh,
Oh, hey.
I can help you. Kids' hats.
Okay, are you on 23?
Pages.
All right, so kids' hats, we talked about the title yesterday. And can anybody remember, and I will take a ticket. Well, we're on 23. I want you to look at the title. 23 is one less than 24, so pop it back one. All right, everybody look. Put your tracker on the title that says Kids' Hats. We talked about why this title was important yesterday and what was kind of cool about the words. Who can remember what was kind of cool about the words Kids' Hats? We learned something new yesterday.
It has an S at the end.
It does have an S at the end. Kids' Hats.
It has a comma floating in the air.
It has the, we talked about the comma means to pause in a sentence, but this happens,
Floating in the air.
it looks like the comma, but it's floating in the air, but it's not called comma floating in the air. Can anybody remember what that's called?
Punctuation point.
I'll give you the beginning. It's called an apostrophe. Apostrophe. And when you see that apostrophe with an S, what does that mean?
Pause.
It doesn't mean to pause.
It means to.
If you see, this is Kids' Hats. That apostrophe means something is going to belong to you. It's possessive. It means it's Kids' Hats. So who has the hats?
Kids.
Whose do the hats belong to?
Kit.
They belong to
Maybe
Kit.
it's in a bedroom, cause if it was in the store, it would not belong to it.
Oh, well, that's a good point. Did you hear that, Lily? He just said maybe it is her bedroom because if there's an apostrophe S, it means they belong to her.
But if she was in the store, it would not belong to her.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, I see Peyton doing this. Oh, okay, that's a great point. So, do we want to change where we think the setting is then?
Yeah. Maybe the store.
Well, but you
In
just,
the bedroom.
I'm thinking more of her bedroom. What do you think? Thumbs up?
Yeah.
You thinking more of her house, her
Because-
bedroom?
Because they don't have like a lot of hats at the store like this, and they don't have like these shelves, and they don't have like long hats and this hat.
Yeah. And Kit has a lot of hats, right? But I have a lot of hats. Does anybody else have a lot of hats? And I have a lot of,
I have 100 of them.
wow, I have a lot of hats.
One hat.
You do?
Like, can I have that hat? And I was like, my dad has. I don't even have any hats then.
Oh, hats.
My dad has
All right,
little
hey,
basket
I'm going to give you
hats.
30 seconds to turn and talk to an elbow partner about hats.
I don't have any hats.
You don't have any hats? Here, talk to Tanaya. You don't have any hats? No hats
I
at
have
home?
a lot of hats.
No? Do you have any hats at home?
But I have one.
You have one? I have lots of hats. I don't, well, I have like 4 or 5 back there, and I have a lot of wigs. I like to dress up. It's pretty fun. Here, come. Only one hat? All right, come back. Here we go. All right, so give me a thumb if you are like Kit and you have a lot of hats. If you don't, it's okay. All right.
Could be her just trying them on. My belly's growling.
They could be her trying them on at the store. Could be. And maybe I'm just thinking out loud, maybe she tries them on and the ones that we read about are the ones she buys and takes home?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud.
Well, maybe it can be in her house or a store because maybe they said they can maybe she's outside in the garage sale and then the person said they can have all those hats, so then that's maybe why it's up there.
You know, it's really exciting. Do we really know?
No.
That's what's so fun about reading is you just get to make it up as you go along. All right, trackers up,
Trackers up,
trackers down.
trackers down.
Okay, we are on page number 24. Turn the page. All right. Take a look at it. I'm going to give you a little bit to think. When I say read, I want you tracking those words. Ready? Read. Kit has hats. Turn the page. Trackers up. Trackers down. Okay, I'm looking to see that you're on the first word. First word. Here we go. Look at it for a minute. Just think. And read. Kit has big hats. Turn the page. Tracker on the first word. Checking. Glance over at your neighbor. Just glance to make sure your neighbor's on the first word. All right, look. Think about it for a minute. Read. Kit has flat hats. Turn the page. Tracker on the first word. I'm going to give you a second to think. Read. Kit has fun hats. Turn the page. Oh, and that is our story for tomorrow. So here is what I want you to do. The kids' cats is tomorrow. Close your books. Grab your boogie board.
We already did the kids' cat.
Close your books.
No.
Grab your boogie boards. Kids' cats is for tomorrow. All right, grab a boogie board. Are you ready? I have my timer here.
No, we didn't. Yes, we did.
Okay.
We already did kids' cats. Sound riddle.
No, we did kids' hats. It's
didn't
not
do
sound riddle.
kids' cats. We didn't do kids' cats.
No, we haven't done kids' cats, just kids. You guys are getting me confused. Kids' cats, kids' hats. We have not done kids' cats, only kids' hats. Erase. They rhyme, I know. All right, boogie boards up. Here we go. I have some questions for you about kids' hats. Now you must listen. Here's the first one. What is the main idea of the story Kit's Hats? Go. Draw the main idea. Does anybody want to tell us what the main idea is? What's the main idea of a story, guys?
Kids' hats.
The main idea is what the story was about. Is the story about Kit's favorite foods?
No, it's kids' hats.
Go, you have about 30 seconds. You are drawing a picture of the main idea. Remember, I love the way that some of you are writing words. I see some of you remembered the apostrophe in Kit's. Did you remember the apostrophe? Okay. You have about 10 seconds. get maybe Javon's 11. All right, freeze. Hands up. Tell me the main idea of this story. Kids' hats. Show it to me. Let me see your board. Let me see. Kids' hats. Now, was it only about the flat hats or the fun hats or all of the hats? Did you put us at the end of hats?
Yes, ma'am.
Because hats is plural. All right, erase your board. Now, I want you, probably need some chapstick, buddy. I want you to turn to page 27 in your book. 27, quick. Quick turn, 27. 27. 27, 27.
I put that on 27. 27. What? On the past one. Oh, I know.
All right. All right. On that page, let's read that page together. Kid has big hats. Put your pupils on me. Here is the question. How do they describe kids' hats on page 27? What do they say the hats are? Knox?
Big.
The hats are big. So, on your board, I want you to answer the question, and we're going to try to write a sentence today. Here's my question. How do they describe the hats? How do we answer in a sentence? The
Capital.
but what would our sentence be? The hats are
big.
repeat. Ready? The hats are big. We are going to respond on our boogie board with that sentence. Are you ready? Here we go. First word is what?
Capital.
But what's our word? The. Write it down. We know that one. That's one of our words. The. Hey, Tanaya, come down here, sis. The.
Hat.
Next word, hats. Do you have a space? You know the. T. H. You got it. Now make your space. Okay. The hats are. Does anybody know how to spell R? It is tricky.
A-R-E.
R is tricky. Yep. R is a tricky word. It is A-R-E. Try to decode R. If you tried to decode it, it would be A or E. A or E. Go ahead and underline the whole thing because the word R is all tricky. The hats are what? The hats are big. That is totally decodable. Write it. The hats are big.
Period. Period.
The hats and write big. Well, are we excited about saying the hats are big? No, we're just saying it. All right, the hats are big. Eyes up here. Check out your sentence and read with me. Ready? The hats are big. Look at your word the. Does it start with a capital letter?
Yes.
If it doesn't, go ahead and put an X on it and fix it. Do you have good spaces?
Yes.
Do you have a period at the end?
Yes.
Erase your board. Here is the next question. Turn to page 29. 29.
I flipped all the way to it.
Well, look, if you think about it, listen, what's one more than 27?
28.
So that's the next page. What's one more than 28? 29. See, it's a little bit of math. All right, look at it. Track. Start with the first word on the left. Let's read. Kit has flat hats. Erase your boogie board. Here is the question. We are going to respond with a sentence. Listen to my question. How is Kit's hat on page 29 described in the story?
Flat.
Okay. Is flat a sentence? That's just one word. That's one word. What could we say? The. Here we go. The hats are flat. Go. What's our first word? The. Did you get a capital T this time? The. What are you using for a space? Are you eyeballing it? Yeah, guys, look up page 28 real quick. Do you notice the word has that really dark S? Just like our words that we're putting on the word wall. All right, write it. This is the last sentence. The hats are. Can you remember R? You wrote the hats are. Can you remember R? It's tricky. Do we have it yet? You got it. A. Listen, R is a word you're just going to have to remember. R. R.
Like a parrot saying R.
Kind of like a parrot saying R. Except when they spell that in a book, it's just it's an A and a bunch of R's, like R. R.
Don't take the whole boogie board.
Okay, the hats are flat. Oh, how many sounds in flat? At, flat. If you're done and you're hanging out, you need to double check, double tap, make sure you have capital, spaces, punctuation, and if you still have some time, draw a picture that matches your sentence. When I look at your picture, I better see a flat hat, because if you make a fun hat, your picture will not match your sentence, and that is very important in writing. Read it.
Kids.
I think you're trying to say are. They are. Flat what?
Hats. They are flat.
All right. Ooh, I forgot the timer. Okay. Time's up. Let me see your sentence. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for capital. I'm looking for spaces. I'm looking for a period. I want you to quick check your neighbor. Make sure they have all those things. You have. Don't erase it before it's time to erase, buddy. Check your neighbor. Check your neighbor. All right. Erase your board. Close your book. Put it behind you. And we're going to finish with a quick game. All right, here we go. Something we drink that comes from cows is called, what is it? Tell me.
Milk.
Segment her up. Wait, before we build it, I want hands up. Ready? Because these are going to have a lot of sounds in them. Ready? Let's tap out milk. Okay, watch me first. Watch me. Milk. Watch me again. Let's try it together this time. Milk. Ready? Milk. First sound. Move it up. Vowel sound. Vowel sound. What's the third sound? Oh. Final sound. Hey, boys, if you've got it, just hang tight. Okay. 4 sounds. Touch the first. Ready? Touch it. Bless you. Sound it. Milk. So, Brooks, I'm looking at yours, and when I read yours, it says milk. Milk. You have to make sure you have the correct vowel. I know, we didn't need that last one. Okay, the next one is a bird lays its eggs in a nest. Watch me. Watch me. Together. Put your hand up. Together. Ooh, nice and fast. Go. First sound. Vowel sound. Eh. You got it. Did you get the right one? What are those last two sounds? St, st. You have to be quick when you say there are two sounds. St,
Nest. Nest. And we have nest on a word. The word nest.
Where?
It's over there. On the bottom. No, we had not and then.
Okay, let's touch it. Ready? Let's blend it one more time, and then we're going to move it back. Go. Nest. Nest. Here we go. Put it back. First sound. Say it as you put back. Vowel. And t. When you come to a red light, you have to
Stop.
watch me. Stop.
Stop.
Put your segmenter up. Let me see it. Hand up. Let me see you. Stop.
We stopped. We did that on there.
We did. So what is that? St? You got to be quick. St. St. Get those two. That is a cluster. We have to say them quick. St. What's the vowel sound? Ah. Final sound? All right, finger up. First sound. Let's say those sounds and blend it. Go. St. Op. Stop. All right, let's move it back. First sound. St. Vowel sound. Ah. All right, we'll do two more.
And then lunch.
The opposite of first is
Next.
no.
Last.
The opposite of first is last. Hand up. Let's do it first. Now that's gotta go quick. Ready? Rowan. Ast. Last. Okay, first sound. Vowel sound. Ah.
Last.
You gotta be quick because some people sometimes, believe it or not, some people try to put those together and they might say, asked, but it is not together. Those are two completely different sounds and you just have to be quick to hear them.
Last.
Elliot, nice job. Listen, peek at your neighbors. If you notice that your neighbor has some letters that are maybe mixed up, let them know. Help them out. Okay, touch that first sound. Ready? Okay, so let's help her. What does she need? What's the vowel? Ah. Pick your ah. But not tonight. There you go. Ah. Ah.
You need to switch the at the front. You need to at in. Yeah, you need to
All right, let's move it back. Ready? We got one more word. First sound. Let's put it back. First sound. Ah. Okay, this is a big one. This is going to have 5 sounds. You ready? We're going to end big. The last one is this. Ready, Rowan? The part of a tree remaining when you cut it down is called the... No, listen again.
Trunk.
No, well, it is part of the trunk, but when you cut a tree down... No, listen, you're still not right. Listen to me. When you cut down a tree and you have a piece that is still there, it's called a... Repeat. Stump. Put your hand up. Watch me. I want to see your pupils. Look at me. Eyes up here. Watch me. St.
Stump.
Get your hand up. Let's do it together. Ready? Stump. St. Stump. Okay, first sound. St. I heard the t. Put it back, bud.
Do it all the way to the
Look at that.
As. So should he have?
Well, that's sa.
I know he has as.
All right. Stump. It's okay, Rowan. You can catch next time, buddy. You were talking when we were putting away. All right, touch the first sound. Ready? Let's say the sounds and blend it. Stump. All right, put it away. First sound. And all right.
Oh.
Freeze. Okay, here's the exit ticket, and we're done, and it's time for lunch. Look up here.
Wait, what about
I'm going to tell you a word. Are you ready? If that word ends with, let me see what that says. If that end has this, you're going to jump. If the end of the word ends in a z, you're going to spin. Are you ready? But just like spin once, okay? Don't knock anybody out. Here we go. Show me what you're going to do if you hear s. Show me what you're going to do if you hear z. Okay, freeze. Here we go. Bugs. Bugs. You should be spinning. Reset. Moons. Reset. Ships. Reset. Friends. Reset. Oh, don't get dizzy. Grabs. Oh, you can't jump in. You got to pick one. Okay. Reset. Names. Well, you guys are good at this. I think you know this. Reset. Lights. Two more. Reset. Jumps.
That's literally what it
I know. Last one. Reset. This is it, and it's time for lunch. Tricks. Bless you. All right. Freeze. Freeze, freeze, freeze. Give yourself a round of applause. You guys worked so hard today. All right. Thank you. Pick up your things.